A small act in deep space. The cargo ship moved slowly through the dark stretch of space between two trade systems. It was not a warship. It had no heavy weapons or strong shields. It was built for carrying goods, not fighting battles. Captain Aaron stood at the front of the bridge, watching the stars drift across the screen. The asteroid field ahead shimmered with cold light. Small rocks floated everywhere, turning slowly in silence. "Easy path," said Leo, the navigation officer. "But pirates have been active here." Aaron nodded. "We move carefully." The crew of the small ship had been flying together for years. They were traders, not soldiers. Their goal was simple: deliver cargo safely and return home. Then a soft alarm sounded. "Captain," said Mira from communications, her voice tense. "I am picking up a distress signal." Aaron turned quickly. "Source?" Mira tapped her console. "Very weak. Coming from inside the asteroid field." Leo frowned. "That area is unstable. If we go deep inside, we risk damage." Aaron stepped closer to Myra's screen. "Identify the signal." She hesitated before answering. "It is human." The bridge went quiet. Humans were known across the outer systems. Strong. Emotional. Unpredictable. Some said they were kind. Others said they were dangerous when pushed too far. "We cannot ignore a distress call," Mira said softly. "We're low on fuel," Leo replied. "And pirates could use a fake signal to trap ships." Aaron stood still, thinking. On the screen, a small blinking signal flickered weakly. It could disappear at any moment. "How long has it been active?" Aaron asked. "Hard to say," Mira answered. "Signal strength suggests heavy damage." Leo crossed his arms. "Captain, this is not our fight." Aaron looked at his crew. They were not warriors. They had no obligation to save a human stranger drifting alone in deep space. But he knew something important. If they ignored the call, and it was real, someone would die alone in the dark. "Change course," Aaron said quietly. Leo stared at him. "Captain." "Change course," Aaron repeated. The ship turned slowly toward the asteroid field. The deeper they moved, the more dangerous it became. Small rocks hit the shields with dull thuds. Warning lights flashed. "There," Mira said suddenly. Visual contact. On the main screen, a small escape pod drifted between spinning stones. Its surface was burned and cracked. One engine was destroyed. Life support was weak. "Scan for traps," Aaron ordered. "Nothing detected," Leo said after a tense moment. "It appears genuine." Aaron felt a strange weight in his chest. "Bring it in." Carefully, slowly, the cargo ship moved close. Mechanical arms extended and locked onto the damaged pod. It was pulled into the lower hangar. The crew hurried down. The pod door hissed as they forced it open. Inside, a human lay strapped to the seat. Blood covered part of his face. His breathing was shallow. "He is alive," Mira said, kneeling beside him. Aaron looked at the human carefully. He was larger than them. Strong build. Even injured, he looked powerful. "Medical bay," Aaron ordered. They carried him gently. Their medical tools were not designed for humans. Their species had different biology. But they did what they could. They cleaned wounds, sealed cuts, stabilized breathing. Hours passed. Finally, the human's eyes opened. They were tired but aware. He looked around slowly at the unfamiliar room. "You picked me up?" he asked weakly. His voice was rough but calm. "Yes," Aaron replied. The human tried to sit up, but Mira gently pushed him back down. "Rest," she said. He gave a small nod. "Thank you," he whispered. Over the next few days, the cargo ship left the asteroid field and returned to open space. The human recovered slowly. He spoke little at first. He listened more. His name was Adam. His ship had been attacked by pirates. He had escaped in the pod. He had expected to die. "You took a risk," Adam said one evening while sitting in the common room. Aaron shrugged lightly. "It was the right thing." Adam smiled faintly. The crew noticed something about him. He did not brag. He did not act superior. He helped clean the mess hall even while recovering. He fixed a broken panel in engineering without being asked. He is not what I expected, Leo admitted quietly. No, Aaron agreed. When they reached the nearest human station, Adam stood near the exit ramp. He looked stronger now. Steady. You saved my life, he said. It was nothing, Aaron replied. Adam shook his head. It was everything. He paused, then looked directly at Aaron. If you ever need help, call. Aaron gave a polite nod. We are only traders. Adam smiled slightly. Does not matter, he said. Then he stepped off the ship and disappeared into the busy station. The cargo crew returned to their route. They spoke about the humans sometimes. They wondered what became of him. But space is large and life moves forward. They did not know that one small decision inside an asteroid field would one day change the fate of their entire world. For now, it had only been a simple act of kindness. A small ship, a single human, and a promise quietly made in the silence of space. The years that followed. Years passed after the cargo ship rescued the human named Adam. Life returned to normal for Captain Aaron and his crew. They carried minerals, food supplies, and machine parts between quiet systems. Trade routes remained stable, and most days were calm. But the galaxy was changing. Small pirate groups began to grow stronger. Trade convoys started disappearing in outer sectors. Rumors spread of a rising warlord who was uniting scattered pirate clans into one large force. Aaron listened to these reports carefully, but he stayed focused on his work. His ship was still small, still lightly armed. They were traders, not soldiers. One evening, as they rested in orbit above a peaceful world, Mira looked up from her tablet. Captain, she said, I found something interesting. Aaron turned slightly. What is it? It's about the human we rescued. Adam. Leo raised an eyebrow. What about him? Mira adjusted the screen so they could all see. He is now captain of a Terran patrol ship. Aaron blinked. Already? Yes, Mira said. Promoted quickly. Leo let out a low whistle. Humans move fast. The crew felt a quiet pride. They had helped someone who was now important among his people. But they did not expect that to matter. More years passed. The pirate threat became real. Large trade fleets vanished without warning. Emergency signals filled the communication channels. Entire outposts were raided. One day, Aaron received a message from the Trade Guild Council. All independent captains are advised to avoid outer routes. Pirate coalition activity confirmed. Aaron gathered his crew. We stay closer to the inner systems, he said. No unnecessary risks. The crew agreed. But danger does not always wait politely. A month later, while carrying food supplies to a distant colony, Aaron's ship detected 3 unknown vessels ahead. They are not broadcasting identification, Mira said nervously. Pirates, Leo muttered. The unknown ships changed direction and began moving toward them. Power up shields, Aaron ordered. His cargo ship's shields were weak compared to military vessels. They could hold for a short time, but not against heavy fire. The pirate ships closed the distance quickly. A voice came through the speakers. Surrender cargo and power down engines. Aaron's jaw tightened. If we surrender, the colony starves, Mira whispered. And if we refuse? Leo asked. They destroy us, Aaron replied calmly. The pirates fired a warning shot. It shook the ship hard. Shields at 60%, Leo reported. Aaron's mind moved quickly. They could not outrun them. They could not outfight them. For the first time in many years, he remembered a quiet promise spoken in a medical bay. If you ever need help, call. Aaron hesitated only for a second. Mira, he said, send an emergency signal. To the guild, she asked. No, Aaron replied. To Terran space. The crew looked at him in surprise. You still have his code? Leo asked. Yes, Aaron said. He had saved it. He had never deleted it. Mira sent the signal. It was simple. Distress. Under pirate attack. Coordinates attached. Then they waited. The pirates opened fire again. Shields dropped to 40%. We cannot last long, Leo said. Aaron felt doubt begin to rise. What if Adam had forgotten? What if the promise had been nothing more than gratitude? Another blast hit the ship. Sparks flew from the ceiling. 30%, Leo reported. Then Mira suddenly froze. Captain.
What?
Aaron asked. I am receiving a signal. Aaron's heart pounded. From where? Terran patrol frequency. The bridge fell silent. The message was short. Signal received. Hold position. That was all. Leo looked confused. That's it. Aaron stared at the screen. Humans did not waste words. Moments later, long-range sensors detected a warp signature. Then another. Then 5 more. They are coming fast, Mira whispered. The pirate ships seemed to notice too. They shifted formation. Suddenly, space behind the cargo ship tore open with bright blue light. A Terran patrol cruiser emerged from warp. It was larger than the pirate ships.
Sleek. Armed.
More ships followed. 10 in total. At the front of the formation was a ship broadcasting a clear signal. Captain Adam's ship. The pirates did not stay. The moment they saw the Terran vessels, they turned and attempted to flee. Terran ships moved quickly.
Precise.
Organized. Within minutes, 2 pirate ships were disabled. The third jumped to warp in panic. Silence returned. Aaron's damaged cargo ship drifted quietly as Terran vessels formed a protective circle around it. A new message came through. Cargo vessel, this is Captain Adam. Are you safe? Aaron felt something warm in his chest. He opened the channel. We are safe, he said. There was a short pause. Then Adam's voice came again, calm but firm. I told you. If you ever needed help, call. The crew looked at each other in disbelief. They had saved one life. And now that life had returned with a fleet. But this, Aaron realized, was only the beginning. A debt that was not forgotten. The Terran ships stayed in formation around Aaron's damaged cargo vessel. Their hulls shone under distant starlight. They were not large battle cruisers, but they carried enough weapons to make any pirate think twice. Inside the bridge, Aaron stood straight as Captain Adam's face appeared on the main screen. Adam looked older now. His uniform carried rank marks. There was a thin scar across his jaw. You look surprised, Adam said with a small smile. We did not expect such a fast answer, Aaron replied honestly. Adam nodded once. We monitor emergency codes closely. Leo leaned toward Aaron and whispered, 10 ships is not normal patrol strength. Aaron noticed it too. You brought many, Aaron said carefully. Adam's expression grew serious. You once entered an asteroid field to save a stranger. We do not forget that. The words felt simple, but they carried weight. Behind Adam, Terran officers moved quickly across his bridge. Their actions were calm, controlled. Your ship is damaged, Adam continued. We will escort you to safe orbit. That is generous, Aaron said. It is not generosity, Adam replied. It is balance. The connection ended, and the Terran ships shifted positions, forming a tight defensive ring. For the next several hours, they traveled together toward the nearest secure trade station. When they arrived, Terran engineers boarded Aaron's vessel. They repaired shield emitters and power relays without hesitation. They work fast, Mira whispered as she watched them. They train for crisis, Leo replied quietly. Aaron met Adam in person at the station docking bay. The human stepped forward and offered his hand in greeting. Aaron had learned the gesture years ago. He returned it. You have grown into a strong captain, Aaron said. Adam shook his head lightly. I grew because others helped me. They walked along the docking platform together. The pirates are expanding, Aaron said. Our trade routes are under threat. Adam's eyes hardened slightly. We are aware. You are? Aaron asked. Yes, Adam replied. Several systems have requested assistance. Aaron felt a small sense of relief. You intend to fight them? He asked. Adam looked out at the stars through the large window. We protect stable trade, he said. Pirates destroy balance. There was a short silence. But this time is different, Adam added.
How?
Aaron asked. The pirate groups are no longer scattered, Adam explained. They are united under one leader. A warlord, Aaron guessed. Yes, Adam confirmed. He is building something larger. Aaron felt tension return. Then our call today may have exposed us, he said quietly. Adam turned toward him. No, he said firmly. Your call gave us a reason. Aaron did not fully understand. That night, Terran and alien crews shared a quiet meal at the station. There was no fear, no arrogance, just calm conversation. Adam spoke with Mira about engineering. He discussed navigation with Leo. He remembered details from years ago. You repaired my pod stabilizer with spare cargo clamps, he told Leo with a faint smile. Leo blinked in surprise. You remember that? I remember everything from that day, Adam said. The sincerity in his voice was clear. Later, in private, Aaron asked a question that had been in his mind. Why did you truly answer? He asked. Adam did not hesitate. Because trust is rare in this galaxy, he said. And you showed it first. Aaron stood quietly. You risked your crew, Adam continued. For someone you did not know. He looked directly at Aaron. If we ignore that kind of act, then what kind of people are we? The answer needed no words. The next morning, Terran ships prepared to depart. But before leaving, Adam approached Aaron one more time. There will be more trouble soon, he said calmly. Aaron felt it too. The pirate leader is testing systems, Adam continued. He is searching for weakness. And if he finds it? Aaron asked. Adam's expression became firm. Then every Terran captain in range will respond. The statement sounded simple, but Aaron sensed it was not a casual promise. It was something deeper. When the Terran ships jumped to warp, bright blue light filled the sky. Aaron stood in silence long after they were gone. His crew gathered around him. You think they will return? Mira asked softly. Yes, Aaron said. Because of debt? Leo asked. Aaron shook his head slowly. No, he said. Because of loyalty. In the quiet of space, something had shifted. The pirates had attacked one small cargo ship. But by doing so, they had awakened something larger. Humans did not rush into every conflict. They did not shout about power. But when called upon, they answered. And this time, Aaron had the feeling that the next call would not be answered by 10 ships. It would be answered by many more. The balance of the outer systems was about to change. And it all began with one simple rescue in an asteroid field. One act of kindness. One human who remembered. And one promise that had just become something far greater than gratitude. The message had already spread across human space. Every Terran captain had heard it. And now they were coming. Far from the busy trade routes, in a dark and quiet sector, the alien fleet waited. They believed they had control. They believed no one would dare challenge them. At the center of that sector was a damaged space station. It was small, old, and almost forgotten. Many years ago, its people had saved a human pilot from certain death. They had pulled him from broken metal and burning wires. They had given him food, shelter, and care. Now that same station was under attack. The alien fleet had surrounded it. Large warships blocked escape routes. Smaller ships fired warning shots to scare the civilians inside. The aliens believed humans would not come. After all, it had been many years. They thought humans would forget. They were wrong. Inside the station, the leader of the small alien colony stood in the control room. His name was Aaron. He looked tired but calm. Around him, his people worked quickly, trying to repair shields and send signals. Do you think they heard us? One of his officers asked quietly. Aaron did not answer right away. He remembered the young human they had saved long ago. The human had promised something before he left. If you ever call for help, the human had said, we will come. Aaron looked at the screen showing the enemy ships. I hope humans keep their promises, he said softly. Outside the station, the alien commander smiled. His ships were powerful. His weapons were ready. He had given the station one final chance to surrender. There was no response. He lifted his hand to give the order to fire. Then something strange happened. A signal appeared on every screen. One ship had entered the sector. The alien commander frowned. One ship was nothing. Then another signal appeared. And another. And another. Within minutes, Dozens of human ships jumped out of faster-than-light travel. They formed a wide circle around the alien fleet. The alien commander's smile faded. More signals appeared. Hundreds. Large battleships. Fast cruisers. Heavy carriers. Even old cargo ships modified with weapons. They came from every direction. They came from far systems and near colonies. They came without hesitation. On one of the leading human ships stood Captain Mark. His face was serious, but his eyes were steady. He had once been a young pilot, saved by strangers in a broken station. He looked at the screen showing the station under attack. "They answered our call once," he said quietly to his crew. "Now we answer theirs." Across the human fleet, every captain had received the same short message years ago. It was not an order from Earth. It was not a command from the military. It was a promise. When the station sent its distress call, it carried an old record. A human voice. A younger voice. "If this signal is ever heard," the message said, "these people are under our protection." Every Terran captain had recognized it. They did not wait for permission. The alien commander tried to contact the human fleet. "This conflict does not concern you," he said. "Leave this sector." Captain Mark answered calmly. "It concerns us." The alien commander laughed nervously. "You cannot fight all of us." Mark did not smile. "We do not need to fight all of you," he said. "Only enough to make you leave." More human ships kept arriving. The dark space that had once belonged to the alien fleet was now filled with Terran vessels. Their lights shone like a wall of stars. Inside the station, Aaron stared at the screen in disbelief. "They came," one of his officers whispered. Aaron felt something heavy in his chest. It was not fear. It was hope. The alien commander looked at his officers. His ships were strong, but the human fleet was larger than expected. Much larger. And humans were known for one dangerous thing. They did not stop. Scans showed human ships powering weapons. Shields activated. Fighters prepared for launch. The alien commander had two choices. He could fight and risk losing everything, or he could retreat and save his fleet. He hesitated too long. A small human fighter moved forward. It did not fire. It simply took position between the alien fleet and the station. Then more fighters joined it. They formed a living shield. Captain Mark's voice echoed across all channels. "This station is under Terran protection. Stand down and withdraw. This is your only warning." Silence filled space. The alien commander looked at the endless line of human ships. He understood something in that moment. This was not politics. This was not strategy. This was loyalty. And loyalty could not be measured by numbers. Finally, he gave the order. Retreat. One by one, alien ships began to turn away. Engines flared. Warp drives activated. Within minutes, the sector grew quiet again. The human fleet did not chase them. They simply stayed. Inside the station, cheers filled the halls. Aaron closed his eyes for a moment, letting relief wash over him. On his screen, a direct channel opened. Captain Mark appeared. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Then Aaron bowed his head slightly. "You kept your promise," he said. Mark shook his head gently. "No," he replied. "You kept yours first." Around them, hundreds of Terran ships held position like silent guardians. The war had not happened, but something far stronger had been proven. When humans say they will come, they come. The alien fleet had left, but the story was not over. The human ships still surrounded the small station. They did not rush away. They did not celebrate loudly. They stayed in position, silent and watchful. Inside the station, repairs had already begun. Workers moved quickly through broken halls. Engineers fixed damaged shields. Medical teams treated the injured. Aaron stood in the main control room and looked at the screen. Hundreds of human ships still filled the dark space outside. He could not believe it. "They are still here," one officer said softly. Aaron nodded.
Yes.
"And they will not leave until they are sure we are safe." On the largest Terran battleship, Captain Mark watched the same station. His crew waited for orders, but he gave none. Instead, he opened a private channel to the other Terran captains. "Status," he asked. One by one, captains answered. "All clear on the east side." Scans show no enemy ships within range. Long-range sensors active. They spoke calmly, but everyone knew the truth. The alien fleet might return with reinforcements. The enemy commander had retreated, but he had not surrendered. Mark leaned back in his chair. "Maintain formation," he said. "We stay until they can defend themselves." No one argued. Hours passed. Then a day. Then 2. More Terran supply ships arrived. They brought food, spare parts, medical tools, and engineers. Small transport ships moved between the fleet and the station, helping with repairs. The station slowly began to shine again. Inside one of the halls, Aaron walked beside a human engineer named Tom. Tom was checking power lines and shield controls. "You did not have to come in such numbers," Aaron said quietly. Tom smiled slightly. "Yes, we did." Aaron looked at him. Tom pointed toward space. "When one human heard your call, he sent it to others. Not because of orders. Because of memory." Aaron understood. Years ago, they had saved one human pilot without asking for reward. They had treated him like one of their own. Now, that small act had returned to them like a wave. Later that evening, a meeting was held between Aaron and Captain Mark. This time, Mark came in person. The station's people watched carefully as the human captain stepped into their hall. He wore a simple uniform. No special medals. No grand signs of power. But everyone knew who he was. They entered a quiet room to speak privately. "You risked a war for us," Aaron said. Mark shook his head.
No.
"We risked nothing. They would have tested us one day anyway." Aaron frowned. "You think they will return?" Mark's eyes were serious.
Yes. Not today.
"Maybe not tomorrow. But they will not forget this." Aaron felt a small wave of fear. Mark noticed. "That is why this cannot be the end," the human captain said. He placed a small data device on the table. "What is this?" Aaron asked. "Defense plans," Mark replied. "Training programs. Communication codes. And a direct line to Terran space." Aaron looked surprised. "You want an alliance?" he asked. Mark nodded slowly. "We protect our friends," he said. "But we also make them strong." Outside the room, Terran engineers were already upgrading shield systems. Human ships had shared advanced sensor technology. They were not just defending. They were building. 3 days later, the station's main shield was stronger than before. Weapon systems were repaired and improved. Long-range communication towers had been expanded. The small station was no longer weak. It had become part of something larger. Before leaving, Captain Mark stood in the docking bay. Aaron walked beside him. "You could have ignored us," Aaron said. Mark smiled softly. "Humans do many things, but we do not ignore those who saved our lives." The human fleet slowly began to move. One by one, ships jumped into faster-than-light travel. The dark space grew quiet again. But it felt different now. It no longer felt lonely. From the control room, Aaron watched the last Terran battleship disappear. He turned to his officers. "Prepare new defense schedules," he ordered. "And send a message to all nearby systems." "What message?" one officer asked. Aaron looked at the stars. "Tell them this station stands with Terra." Far away, aboard his ship, Captain Mark looked at the empty space behind him. He knew the alien commander was watching somewhere. Learning.
Planning.
But Mark was not worried. Because now, everyone knew something important. If you help a human, humans will remember. And when the call goes out, every Terran captain will answer. Months passed. The station was no longer small or weak. New defense towers stood around it like strong walls. Ships moved in and out every day. Trade had increased. Security had doubled. But peace did not mean safety. Far away, in deep space, the alien commander who had once attacked the station was planning again. He had not forgotten the sight of the Terran armada. He had not forgotten the fear in his own fleet when the human ships filled the stars. Now he wanted answers. In a large war room aboard his flagship, he stood before a glowing map of space. Red dots showed human territory. Blue dots showed allied systems. One blue dot blinked brightly. The station. They were nothing before, one alien officer said. Now they grow stronger. The commander's eyes narrowed. Because of humans. Another officer stepped forward. Our scouts report something new. Human ships visit that station often. They train together. The commander turned slowly. An alliance? Yes, the officer replied. The commander felt anger rise inside him. Then we do not attack the station, he said. We attack their trade. Their friends. We make them weak slowly. The officers nodded. Back at the station, Aaron stood beside a large window. Beside him was Tom, the human engineer who had stayed as an advisor. You feel it too, Tom said quietly. Aaron nodded. Something is coming. Scanners had detected small attacks near nearby systems. Cargo ships had disappeared. Trade routes were no longer safe. But no fleet had appeared. No large force had shown itself. It was quiet war. Inside a training hall, station soldiers practiced with new Terran weapons. Human instructors guided them step by step. Stay calm, one instructor said. Humans do not win because we are strong. We win because we stay focused. The alien soldiers listened carefully. They had once believed humans were legends. Now they were learning directly from them. Days later, an emergency signal arrived. A nearby colony, one that traded with the station, was under attack. Aaron rushed into the control room. Details. 3 unknown warships, an officer said. They are destroying defense satellites. Tom stepped closer to the screen.
This is not random.
They want to test response time. Aaron did not hesitate. Prepare ships. We respond immediately. Within minutes, a joint fleet launched. Station ships flew beside Terran cruisers that had remained nearby for support. As they traveled through space, Tom contacted Captain Mark through secure communication. We have movement, Tom said. Mark's voice came calm and clear. Understood. We are on our way. The joint fleet reached the colony quickly. Smoke and debris filled the space around it. Defense platforms were broken. The 3 enemy ships were large and dark, with heavy armor. They are stronger than before, Aaron said. Tom nodded. But so are we. The battle began fast. Enemy cannons fired first. Bright beams cut through space. One station ship took damage, but stayed in formation. Shields holding at 70%, a pilot reported. Terran ships moved with perfect coordination. They did not rush blindly. They circled, scanned, and targeted weak points. Focus on engines, Tom advised. Station ships followed the same strategy. Instead of aiming at heavy armor, they attacked control systems and movement parts. One enemy ship lost speed. Another lost shield balance. The alien commander watched from far away through live feed. They learned, he said quietly. Back at the battlefield, a Terran cruiser moved directly between the colony and enemy fire. It took heavy damage. Why would they shield them? One alien officer asked the commander. The commander said nothing. Because he knew. Humans protect their allies. Within minutes, Captain Mark's full fleet arrived. Space changed again. The 3 enemy ships tried to retreat, but they were too slow. 1 surrendered. 2 were disabled and captured. The colony was saved. After the battle, joint repair teams worked together again. But this time, something was different. The station ships had fought equally beside the humans. They had not waited to be rescued. On the Terran flagship, Captain Mark met Aaron through hologram. You handled your fleet well, Mark said. Aaron nodded respectfully. We learned from the best. Mark smiled slightly.
No.
You learned because you wanted to survive. Far away, the alien commander turned off the battle feed. He understood something now. This was no longer one station protected by humans. It was a growing alliance. Every attack only made them stronger. He spoke to his officers slowly. If we strike again, he said, we must be ready for all of them. Back at the station, Aaron looked at the repaired colony on the screen. We are no longer alone, he said. Tom crossed his arms. And neither are the humans. In the dark space between stars, news of the battle spread. One message repeated across systems. The station stands. The humans stand with them. And this time, they fought together.